Let me share something that could truly transform your life if you really understand it. The richest people in the world, regardless of the country, rarely got there just by earning a good salary. In fact, the reality is quite different from what most people imagine. If you look at the data, about 60% of wealthy individuals own their own businesses, 20% are investors, 16% inherited wealth, and only a tiny fraction live solely off a salary without investing. So if you want to manage money like the top 1%, you need to understand what these groups have in common. Answer is simple: they all own something. Entrepreneurs have businesses, investors have assets, heirs have inheritances and funds, and artists or athletes have unique, hard-to-replicate skills. If you don't own anything, you're the one being controlled by the system, tied to bills, debts, and always waiting for the next paycheck. This is the point most people ignore, but just knowing this won't change your situation. The real question is, how do you flip the script and start building wealth for yourself? Here's where the 20-10-60-10 rule comes in. This formula was created so that anyone, even those earning little, can organize their finances like the wealthy do. The truth is, it's not about how much you earn, but how you use what you earn. Let's get straight to the point. 20% of what you receive should go toward your financial growth. This money must work for you, not just sit in your account. When I say growth, I mean investing in things that increase in value over time. Most people follow a predictable cycle. They get their paycheck, pay the bills, and spend whatever's left on unnecessary things, ending the month at zero. This cycle repeats month after month, year after year. The sad part is this system is designed to keep you stuck. You feel good when you get paid, but within days you're out of money again, working harder just to balance the books. It's a modern form of slavery disguised as normal life. But don't worry, receiving a salary isn't the problem, it's how you use it that matters. First step is to use that 20% to buy assets, things that put money in your pocket and grow over time. The idea is simple: while you work, your assets work too, and eventually they can generate more than your job. Maybe you're thinking, but I don't have money to invest. I get it, but it's crucial to find a way to start, because the sooner the better. Let's illustrate this with a story about two friends, Lucas and Pedro. Lucas started investing $500 a month at age 20. Pedro, on the other hand, began at 30, investing $750 monthly. Both invested in assets yielding about 10% annually, and both continued until age 60. Lucas contributed $240,000 of his own money and ended up with about $3,174,000. Pedro contributed $270,000 and ended up with around $1,578,000. Why did Lucas end up with almost double, even though he invested less? Because his money had more time to grow. Time in the market beats timing the market. Now that you understand how to start, the next step is picking the right assets. Think of it as a risk ladder from the safest to the riskiest. If you're just starting and don't know much, fixed income is the safest path. It currently offers about 8% annual returns on average, safe but not very high. Next, we have index funds, also known as ETFs. These are one of the simplest and safest ways to start investing in stock. ETFs, instead of picking individual stocks, you buy a basket that represents an entire market, sector, or index. This allows for automatic diversification, reducing the risk of betting on a single company. There are many types of ETFs worldwide, each tracking a specific part of the market: large companies, small companies, specific sectors, or even international markets. Diversification balances potential returns and risk, making it a smart choice for new investors. Another powerful investment is developing high-income skills. Investing and learning something that multiplies your earning capacity can offer returns far above 20% annually. By developing a well-paid skill, you expand your growth potential beyond what any traditional investment can offer. For example, investing in courses or training can pay off in just a few months, and after that, it's all profit for years to come. Today, there are endless opportunities, from digital activities like sales, video editing, and programming to practical services in high demand. Any sector with high demand and few skilled professionals, those who specialize can charge well even without a university degree. The return on this type of investment is often much faster than any other, and the best part is it's something no one can take away from you. That's why developing a high-income skill can be the best investment of your life. Whether it's digital marketing, design, or a practical trade, the opportunities are endless if you're willing to learn. Real estate investment funds are another way to invest in property without buying a whole building. Here, how it works: several people pool their money into a fund, which is then used to buy large properties like malls, office buildings, or warehouses. These properties are rented out and the rental income is distributed among the investors. This way you receive monthly income like rent, but without owning the property yourself. Real estate funds usually offer higher returns than savings accounts or other investments, but they also come with risks. For example, if a property sits empty or the fund's value drops on the stock market, your earnings can decrease. Still, they're a good option for those seeking extra monthly income. Just make sure to study the fund carefully before investing. Understanding the risks and rewards is key to making smart investment decisions. Stocks are shares of companies that can increase in value and pay dividends. Investing in them can be very profitable, but trying to pick the perfect stock and bet everything on it is risky and not recommended. The most reliable strategy is to invest in 20 to 30 companies that have shown consistent profits over the past 8 years. Building a diversified portfolio reduces risk and increases your chances of steady return. Investing in stocks can be very rewarding in the long run, as long as you understand how the market works. The market naturally goes through cycles of ups and downs. The key is not to panic during downturns or get swept up in the excitement during booms. You must be prepared for tough times when your portfolio might drop by 10, 20, or even 30%, as happened in 2008, 2015, and 2020. Staying calm and disciplined is essential. Another important point is to keep investing consistently and for an indefinite period. Only with discipline can you accumulate enough wealth to live off your investments. Don't try to guess which stock will be the best. Diversify your portfolio. This way you have a good chance of earning average returns of 12% or more per year in the long run. Remember, no single stock will make you rich. True wealth is built through regular, consistent investing. Next, let's talk about online businesses. Today, it's possible to start a business with just a laptop and an internet connection. Digital products, e-commerce courses, affiliate marketing, and digital services are all ways to make money online. There's a lot of potential here, but also risk. You might face failures before you succeed, so it's wise to build a financial cushion before taking big risks. When they work, digital businesses can yield returns above 20% annually. There are also alternative investments like Bitcoin, gold, and collectibles. Just like other categories, you can win big or lose a lot. My advice is clear: don't invest in anything you don't understand well. Always do your research before putting your money into alternative assets. Knowledge is your best protection against unnecessary losses and emotional decisions. Now that you know where to put your money, the next step is to invest practically and intelligently. It's not enough to choose good assets, you need to make sure your money is actually working for you. Many people open a brokerage account, make an initial deposit, and then leave the money sitting there thinking they're investing. That's not the case. The second step is to create the habit of investing monthly and automatically. Best way is to set up an automatic transfer from your bank to your brokerage as soon as you get paid, ideally on the same day. This avoids the temptation to spend what's left and forces you to prioritize your goals. This is known as pay yourself first. Once the money is in your brokerage, the next step is to invest it. You can choose to invest only in fixed income, only in stocks, or diversify among different asset classes. So your investments are automated, your main task is to focus on earning more. The truth is, wealth doesn't come from finding a miracle asset, but from investing consistently over long periods. Your focus now should be on increasing your income so you can increase your contributions. This is where developing valuable skills comes in. If you haven't started yet, learn something useful, take on extra work, generate additional income, and reinvest it directly into your financial freedom. Now let's move to the second part of the rule, 10% for stability. This portion of your money keeps you steady in the game. Many people don't realize that not all money should go toward growth or consumption. Some must be set aside to protect your progress. Imagine someone who works as a freelancer and depends on their laptop. If it breaks and they don't have a reserve fund, they might have to buy a new one on credit, paying interest and losing clients in the process. Without a stability fund, unexpected expenses can force you into debt even if you're invested elsewhere. You might have to sell investments at a loss, which leads to setbacks. That's why having a safety margin is essential. To build your stability fund, follow 3 steps. First, calculate your essential monthly expenses like groceries, rent, utilities, and work-related services. Add them up to find your basic monthly cost. Suppose your basic monthly cost is $2,300. Multiply that by 5 months, that's your ideal stability fund. The goal is to save 10% of your salary each month until you reach that amount. It might seem like a lot, but when life throws you a curveball, you'll recover without panic, debt, or losing years paying off bills. This fund is your financial safety net, giving you peace of mind and security. Now, where should you keep this money? Follow 3 golden rules. 1. It must be accessible within 24 hours, no investments locked away until 2030. 2. Zero risk. This money isn't for speculation or high returns, so never put your emergency fund in stocks or crypto. 3. Basic returns. While this money isn't meant to grow, it shouldn't sit idle. Choose a safe investment with daily liquidity that offers basic returns, so your money stays accessible and protected. Many people think it will take years to build this reserve, but with the right strategy, it can be much faster. There are 3 methods to speed up the process. The first is salary scanning. As soon as you get paid, automatically direct 10% to your emergency fund. The second is the replacement promise. Whenever you use the fund for an emergency, commit to replenishing it with your next paycheck. The third is saving while spending. Use apps that round up your purchases and save the difference. When your emergency fund is complete, you have 2 options. Redirect that 10% to your growth fund or use it for the final part of the rule, which we'll discuss soon. The important thing is to keep your financial safety net intact. This gives you the freedom to take risks and invest for growth without worrying about unexpected setbacks derailing your progress. Now let's talk about the 60% rule, the essentials. This part of your budget covers what truly keeps your life running, not what feeds your ego. Surprisingly, many high earners still live paycheck to paycheck with no financial reserves. Most are busy trying to look rich instead of actually building wealth. This shows that it's not about how much you earn, but how much you preserve and control. Big problem is lifestyle inflation, the gradual silent increase in expenses as your income grows. To avoid it, the first step is to understand what's truly essential. Essentials are expenses that keep you alive and functional: housing, food, basic utilities, transport, insurance, and basic clothing. Subscriptions you don't use, abandoned gym memberships, or frequent dining out are not essential. The best way to free up money is to review your bank statements and cancel anything that's not vital. I limit essentials to 60% of your income. Many people spend 70-80% thinking it's all necessary, when in reality many expenses are just inflated habits. Living on 60% cuts out the excess and shifts your mindset from "I want to spend more" to "I want to earn more." This is the key to financial growth. It's not about deprivation, but about making intentional choices that support your long-term goals. Second step to controlling your spending is to focus on your 2 biggest costs, housing and transportation. Housing is usually the largest expense, but it doesn't have to grow in proportion to your income. Negotiating rent, sharing space, or even living with family temporarily can save you a lot in the long run. As for transportation, financing a new car is one of the biggest enemies of wealth accumulation. Many people finance new cars for status and spend years paying for something that only loses value. The ideal is to buy a reliable used car, or if possible, consider not having a car at all. This way you save not just on financing, but also on insurance, maintenance, parking, and taxes. With these 2 areas under control, organizing the rest of your finances becomes much easier. It's important to understand that willpower alone won't keep you on the right financial path. What really works are the rules you set to automate good decisions. Financially responsible people create systems so they don't have to rely on motivation alone. A simple system is to ask yourself 3 questions before any purchase. Is this an impulse or a planned buy? Am I buying for the brand or real value? Will this really improve my life? It's an impulse buy. Apply the 5-day rule. Wait a week and see if you still want it. If you're buying for the brand, remember that expensive clothes worn only a few times have a high cost per use. Simple, durable items offer much more value. Ask yourself if the purchase is truly useful, practical, or brings you well-being. Over time, these questions become automatic and you make better financial decisions with less effort. In the end, it's not about being stingy but about spending with intention. The last 10% of the rule is reserved for rewards, the part that helps maintain your mental and emotional health throughout your financial discipline. Money isn't just for growth, protection, or paying bills. It should also bring you joy. Many people skip this step and end up seeing saving as a punishment. Studies show that most people overspend right after long periods of saving, precisely because saving without any pleasure feels like punishment. That's why this 10% is a strategy to make the process sustainable over time. Ideally, create a separate account called the Joy Fund, where you automatically transfer 10% of your income each month, no matter how big or small. The key is to keep this percentage fixed and not dip into other categories. If the Joy Fund runs out, simply start again next month. This makes your spending more conscious and helps you avoid feeling guilty. Over time, you'll seek more meaningful experiences instead of empty consumption. And if the fund is still small, prioritize spending on moments and experiences, not material goods. The goal is to enjoy life while staying on track financially. 20-60-10 rule shows that it's possible to grow, protect, live with balance, and still enjoy life. All of this can be achieved without sabotaging yourself or losing sight of your goals. By following this rule, you create a system that supports your financial health and personal happiness, making wealth building a sustainable journey. Recap: the 20-60-10 rule is built on 4 pillars: 20% for financial growth, 10% for stability, 60% for essentials, and 10% for rewards. Each part has a specific purpose, ensuring you're not just surviving but thriving. This structure helps you avoid common financial traps and keeps you focused on what truly matters for long-term success. Remember, you don't need a huge income to start applying these principles. Even small amounts invested and managed wisely can grow into significant wealth over time. The key is to start where you are, use what you have, and stay consistent. Every step you take brings you closer to financial freedom and peace of mind. Setbacks are a natural part of the journey. Whether it's a financial emergency, a bad investment, or a dip in income, what matters is how you respond. With the right systems in place, you can recover quickly and keep moving forward. Don't let temporary obstacles derail your long-term plans. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and trust the process. Your mindset is just as important as your strategy. Believing that you can change your financial situation is the first step. Stay curious, keep learning, and don't be afraid to try new things. The wealthiest people are always looking for ways to grow and improve. Adopt a growth mindset and watch your financial life transform. Success is built on habits, not just big decisions. Automate your savings, review your expenses regularly, and make investing a monthly routine. Over time, these small actions compound into major results. The more you make good habits automatic, the less effort it takes to stay on track. Let your systems do the heavy lifting for you. Don't forget to enjoy the journey. Financial discipline isn't about deprivation, it's about creating a life you love with freedom and security. Celebrate your progress, reward yourself for milestones, and remember that money is a tool to help you live better, not just a goal in itself. Balance is the key to lasting happiness and wealth. The best time to start is now. Review your finances, set up your budget, and begin applying the 20-10-60-10 rule. Even if you start small, the important thing is to take action. Every positive change you make today sets the foundation for a brighter, more secure future. Your financial freedom is within reach, one step at a time. Thank you for watching and joining me on this journey to financial freedom. Remember, the 20-10-60-10 rule isn't just about money, it's about building a life of balance, security, and joy. Stay disciplined, keep learning, and never stop striving for a better future. Until next time, keep growing and living your best life.